Burrum Heads National Park, Woodgate section, and we're going to focus in on the Burrum Point camping area and some of the tracks. There's only really two that you can actually access at that part of the national park, and we'll start at the top, talk about the campground, and then talk about some of the other bits and pieces that I enjoy. Second favourite thing to do, boom. Drive some tracks. Tide's up, so we'll do a kind of little inland track to get to the very tip of Walker's Point. It's called at Burrum Heads, but pretty much a bit of an empty campground as well. So it is a Wednesday, so I don't imagine there'll be a lot of people around. So good fun. Obviously got to clear the swag out so that I can use the back inverter, but all in all, I'd say that's a great morning office. When that water goes down a little bit, I'll go and find some trees in the shade on the edge of the beach just around the point. It's allocated camping in the Burrum Point camping area, so my favourite is campsite number 9, which is just on the bottom side of the map there, and it's really convenient to the bush shower, or beach shower I should say, which is the little track that comes down to the beach. Yeah, great spot. No fires though, so obviously you need to either self-contain your camp fire or find an alternate source. That's the camping area, but obviously the magic happens, in my opinion, on the Woodgate side. So it seems to be less popular with people. You can probably tell from some of my earlier posts that people just don't seem to really hang out there. They tend to drive to the point and hang out in the deeper water, but it's a fantastic place along the eastern side, or the Woodgate side of Burrum Heads there, or Walker's Point, and some of the most magical sunsets you're likely to ever see. Other than a great sunrise and sunset, the fishing at Woodgate is pretty awesome as well. So here's a couple of things that I've managed to remember to film after catching. I use a cast net to cast net the small mullet that swim in the shallows, and I use those as bait, and obviously when they die it tends to bring in the larger scavenger type fish, as in either rays. In this example's the shovel nose, but the next piece of footage is a small lemon shark, and just good fun on light tackle. Have caught plenty of school mackerel, a couple of big tailor. Yeah, but it's obviously a bit hard to film and fish at the same time, but you get the idea. The fishing is pretty good at Woodgate, and apologies in advance for the speedos. Good fun though. Here's a bit of footage from the DJI mini drone of the beach, and as I said, all to yourself. So we're going to see a couple of cars go past, but outside of that, it's very isolated. tall strands of she oak and some eucalypts as well dominate this coastal forest. Very, as the tracks, other than the main ones, are actually closed to the public, they're range of fire trails only. It's not uncommon to feel like you're the first person to actually walk over the dune. I do get some people ask me if, particularly when I post some photos on socials every now and then, that if I'm at Fraser, and it really does remind me of the western side of Fraser. The sand is almost white. It's magnificent. On a clear day from the point looking south, you can see Hervey Bay off in the distance. It's not uncommon on a really still morning or evening or even day to see whales or dolphins off in the distance. Plenty of rays, small sharks, large pelagics cruising through the water. I actually have had a couple of throws at some rather large, I'm assuming tailor, with the cast net, always just out of reach. I call this the town cutting. It's the cutting from closest to Woodgate. It's very short, easy, and when the tide's down, most of the time I won't even bother letting the tyres down. You may have seen my King's Thumper Max review. I had it permanently mounted. I use it quite a lot these days, and it takes my 33-inch tyres from 15 psi to 40 psi in 1 minute and 25 seconds. That's my review of Woodgate. I spent every other weekend there after stumbling into what is effectively a secret. So grab your friends and family if you can and head on up and make the most of what is an absolutely stunning piece of coastline. Cheers guys.